This recipe is for the Sundubu Tofu soup. Okay, we're going to show you how to cut the pork belly first. You'll get sliced pork belly, and it kind of looks like bacon, but it's just pork belly, and you're just going to cut it across and then set it aside. And then you're going to change out your cutting board. Once you change out your cutting board, we're going to go ahead and process. The onions have already been cut, the garlic has already been minced, and then I'm going to show you guys how to do the tofu, the kimchi, and the green scallions. Tofu is best if you go ahead and score the container. Okay, and then go ahead and get a container to pour out the liquid. And it looks like there's not much, so that's good. You'll be getting a different brand tofu, but that's fine. As long as it's the soft tofu, you'll go ahead and do this and cut off the label, and then you'll go ahead and score it, because when you put it in the soup, it will break down as you stir it. So go ahead and score it and then set it aside. In onions, you'll clean the outsides. You can take the ends off, put it in your compost. Take a little bit of the ends off, and you'll want to cut it on a bias. So what that means is that you'll just line up your green onions and then slice thinly. Curl your fingers. Make sure your knife is sharp. The bias cut is nice because then they don't roll around everywhere. So then you can use a bench scraper and set the green onions aside. And then the same thing with the kimchi. We're gonna use the bench scraper. You do want to put a pair of gloves on so that your hands won't be spicy afterwards. You do want to grab the kimchi and squeeze out as much of the juice, but make sure you keep the juice. You definitely want the juice in this soup. And then this is just a rough chop, so you won't need to worry about the sizing of it. You just want to cut it up to get the leafy greens smaller. So you just want to go across once and then go across again. Clean off your knife and use the bench scraper to add it back to the container. And then that's it on the prep. Now that all the ingredients are prepped, we're going to start following the recipe. You want to add the chili flakes to the sesame oil and give it a mix and set it aside. And now we're going to saute the onions and garlic. So give it a good layer of oil on the bottom. Turn it up to medium heat. You'll want to use the two-handed pot that's at your station. We'll add the onions, and you want to saute them till they're transparent. You can always give a little salt. And now that the onions are translucent, add the garlic and saute the garlic. And then once the garlic is cooked a little bit, we'll go ahead and add the pork. And it should take only a minute for the garlic. And then you really want to render the fat out of the pork. If you don't eat pork, go ahead and leave it out. If you would like, just please let me know before I taste it that there is no pork in this dish. Now that the pork fat is rendered, so go ahead and add the kimchi. And make sure you add all the juice. Cook this for about 2 minutes. Now that it's been cooking for 2 minutes, you're going to add the stock. Give the stock a little stir and add it. And you'll want to add the sugar and salt. And then lastly, You want to add the sesame oil chili flake paste. Give that a stir, and then let it cook. We'll also add the tofu too. Sorry. Give it a little stir, and then you'll let it cook for a little bit, and then it will be ready. Okay, the soup's been cooking for a while now, and our rice is ready. You gotta make sure both items are ready for this dish. We'll go ahead and add our green onions. Give it a stir. You don't want to stir it too much so that the tofu doesn't break up. And then you want to serve it in a bowl. And you have your rice. Now you can do your rice in a ice cream soup. You might do it in the RKR, as well as some places like to do the scoops because it gives good portion size. So like this scoop is a 2-ounce scoop. Then you know that's 4 ounces of rice. Then you'll use a ladle and go ahead and spoon a ladle worth of the tofu soup. You can do a little bit there and a little bit on the other side, and give it a little shimmy, and you're ready to go.